Hi, welcome to Bitcoin Nightly News. I'm your host, Humanity. My goal is to bring you on my daily Bitcoin journey and share the relevant stories and themes of the day. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow on X. Today is Monday, November 25th. Bitcoin's price is currently $92,900. After a week of surging up to $99,850 the weekend this past, we've retraced back to the low 90s. Let's see what we got today for news. Let's start off on the Bitcoin strategy platform with ETF inflows. I want to recap last week. Last week, full week, we had all inflow days for the Bitcoin ETFs. Good week for the ETFs. The ETFs now hold 1,086,599 Bitcoin. Big day on Thursday, the 21st, with 10,296. We're going to touch on ETFs later in this video as well, in a different angle. So more from there later. Other news, Janet Yellen resigns as the Treasury Secretary. Good news for Bitcoin. If you don't know who Janet Yellen is, it is her. It is this lady right here. That is her. She's resigning. Great news for Bitcoin. From Watcher Guru, spot Bitcoin ETFs surpassed 100 billion in assets. That's craziness. They passed 40 billion not too long ago. So this is a story that is really ramping up. So the speed to which the Bitcoin ETFs got to 20 billion, 40 billion, and 100 billion is astounding. It's been less than a year. So, most successful ETF launch in history, as I've been saying. This from Cedric Youngelman, a video with Lawrence Lepard, or Larry Lepard. I really wanted to show you guys this video. If you don't know Larry, he's a sound money guy, really smart guy. Long, successful career. I want you to hear from him. I'd highly suggest looking up a lot of Larry Lepard's interviews and follow him on X. I think it's Lawrence Lepard, and Fix the Money, Fix the World is his handle, I believe. But let's listen to him and what he's got to say. It's about 3 minutes, and I think it's really interesting.
Situation where the sound money people have all the marbles. I mean, I think we're going to break these assholes. I really do. I think the fiat people are going to go down. I mean, when Bitcoin's at $1 million a coin, and when gold's at $10,000 an ounce, honest people who have held these things are going to be the richest people in this country. And other people are going to be hurting. These honest people are going to be standing up and saying, look, here's how they did you wrong. Ben Bernanke is John Law. He should go into the history books as a complete fraud. All these things are going to be exposed. I mean, the fact that the CIA killed Kennedy, all this shit, it's all going to come out as part of this fourth turning, and there's going to be a massive reset, and honest Bitcoiners are going to end up creating America 2.0, just a complete reform of all the fucking shit that's broken. And that'll happen because anybody that has a coin will be rich, and anybody that has 10 coins will be really rich, and they'll be the people who are in a position to lead and make a better system. That's my dream, and I don't think it's a dream. I mean, I think it actually could be a reality. I think there's some issue about how long it'll take. I mean, I'm 65. I think it happens in my lifetime, but probably at the tail end of it. I think it's a 10, 15, 20-year project here until we get complete fiat failure and complete government reform. I mean, fourth turnings historically have lasted 20 or 30 years, and I think the kickoff to this fourth turning was the GFC. The earliest this thing could wrap up is 2028, and the latest it could wrap up would be 2038 maybe. But it's going to wrap up because the math is just, it's relentless. It's absolutely relentless, and more people are figuring it out. I mean, people say, how can we make this go faster? How can we get to the other side quicker? We got to orange pill everybody. the thing, I'll tell you something I think is really important, or to me is a huge thing. I was fighting this battle before Bitcoin was invented. Okay, I've been fighting this battle for 20, 30 years. I've been a sound money guy. I've been a hard money advocate. You know how cool it was to see Bitcoin come along and to see Safe's book come along and start going to conferences and to have 20 and 30-year olds, quoting von Mises to me. I mean, shit, I read von Mises right after college. And I used to talk about Austrian economics in the 80s and 90s, and people thought I was from Mars. I mean, nobody had a clue about this shit, right? And we're still in early days. I mean, the people who get this whole sound money issue, it's definitely less than 10% of the population. It could be as low as 1%. I don't think it's quite that low. It's somewhere between those two numbers. Well, the whole world's going to understand this shit in 30 years. I mean, our kids, our grandkids are going to say, can you believe they sat around and let one small group of people set the price of money? I mean, what the fuck were they thinking? You know what I mean? They had these incredible booms, these incredible busts. They had the Depression. They had all this shit. They had all these wars. I think the other side of this is going to be a much better world. But, sadly, changes of this nature, they don't happen without serious pain. And then, the pain is what's going to lead to the reform. So, we gotta go through the pain.
Let's Larry Lepard. I think his fourth turning framework is really good. Starting fourth turning is a large global change in the world. This fourth turning, I think, is on the back of sound money with Bitcoin and cryptographic technology for money. It's high computing power and quantum computing. It's robotics and autonomy, CRISPR technology and gene editing, and I'm sure that there are maybe one or other two sectors, but all of those things really culminating at the same time, and a lot of S-curve technological developments occurring at the same time, plus a lot of political reform globally. We have a ton of elections this year globally, so a lot of leadership will turn over this year and next in the world, and it looks like globally we're getting a little bit more crypto-friendly and Bitcoin-friendly, which is extremely interesting to see. I wanted to highlight that and wanted to kind of have this in the middle of the show to share what Larry has to say. Next piece of news is Eric Semler from Semler Scientific. They've acquired another 297 Bitcoin, just shy of $30 million for a price of $97,995. Awesome job from Semler. They are implementing a MicroStrategy Bitcoin treasury strategy, and their BTC yield quarter to date is 37.4%. This BTC yield, again, it's a measure of Bitcoin per the rate of growth of Bitcoin per share. Okay, really interesting that they are using capital markets to accrete Bitcoin at the treasury level and for their shareholders. This is really cool stuff at every level. And on the same topic, MicroStrategy acquired 55,500 Bitcoin for $5.4 billion at an average price of $97,862 and have achieved a BTC yield of 35.2% quarter to date and 59.3% year to date. They hodl now 386,700 BTC, acquired for $21.9 billion at $56,761 per coin. That is a behemoth, everyone. That is a juggernaut load. That is a huge stockpile of corn, and that is wild stuff from Saylor and MicroStrategy. I wanted to kind of culminate the MicroStrategy buy and the ETF summary with my post. With Saylor's buy over the weekend, or the announcement today of 55,500 Bitcoin purchased for MicroStrategy, and the total inflows from the ETFs last week of 35,533. in the last 7 days, just from MicroStrategy and just from the ETFs. 91,033 Bitcoin were purchased. So that's a lot. It's a lot of Bitcoin. It's a lot of money coming into the market. A lot of money flows in here, guys. A lot of money flows. That's our show for today. Thank you for joining us for the Bitcoin Nightly News. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, my goal is to educate as many newcomers to the Bitcoin space as I can with what's going on today. Bitcoin is a difficult asset to get your head around, so I like to kind of keep the news as simple as possible. Inflows, outflows, whatever I can for you guys. If you're here and new to the space, welcome. Bitcoin is for everyone. It is a sound money currency. That is really the basis of Larry's point from earlier in the show. A sound money, finite supply money, proof of work mechanism, proof of work monetary policy. Really interesting stuff. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.